Today we're going to see just how easy it is to build cards with Cardia. We'll start the app, and the first thing we're presented with is the wizard that will take us through and help us set up our card. We're going to tell it we want a new card design. If we had one we'd already saved, we could load it here as well. The next question is, what do we want to call this card design? We could give it any name here. Let's just call this one Project 1. The next question is, what does your card look like? Does it fold like a book? Does it fold like a table tent? Or is it a single page? Single page would be something like a brochure or a postcard. The next question is, what size paper are you using? We've included many of the popular sizes. If you want to build a custom size card and your printer can print it, just enter that size here. Let's use 8.5 by 11. That way we can test our card on regular inkjet paper. Remember, you can always cut down inkjet paper and prototype with that. Next, the design panel opens. This is where you'll do all of your work. Let's resize this window to let it use more of the screen. At the top right, there are several buttons that control which of the 4 card sides you're working with. Right now we have the outside selected. This lets us work with the outside of the card. Below the outside button, you choose whether you want to work with the front or the back of the card. Same thing when you want to select to work with the inside of the card. The buttons change to the left and right. Let's set it back to the outside. Now let's start adding parts. The Add button is just one way to add parts. First, let's tell Cardia we want to add an image. This will open the standard Macintosh File Open dialog. Let's pick Girl 29 and open that image. The image gets dropped in the middle of the page and resized to fit. We can drag the image around or resize it by dragging any of the 4 boxes around the image. Let's change gears for a second and select some settings that make it easier to work with your parts. Under the View menu, select Use Alignment Guides. Let's also select Use Grabby Hands. What alignment guides do is help you to center your parts. As you drag a part over the center of the design box, these yellow alignment guides will appear. As you drag across them, you'll see they're kind of sticky. Your part will tend to slightly stick to them. They're both horizontal and vertical alignment guides. What grabby hands are used for is to give you an indication your mouse is over a part. The arrow cursor turns into a little hand. Your part might have a transparent background, so grabby hands let you know you're about to grab something. Grabby hands are even more important when working with text. We'll get to that in a minute. This column is called the Parts column. This is where all your parts or layers will go. You can hide the layers by unchecking the box on a part, and you can grab and reorder this list to move parts in front of or behind each other. This is the Tool channel. Here you'll find all kinds of tools to manipulate the part in the design box. Here's a useful trick. When you want to get rid of a part, just grab it and drag it off to the desktop. You can also right-click on a part in the Parts column to delete it. Now let's look at another way to add parts to Cardia. This is probably the most simple way. Just navigate to a folder or wherever your images are and drag and drop them on the design box. Our dinosaur drops right on there. Let's use the alignment guides and center him up. Now let's add some text to our card. Go up to the Add button and select Text. This drops the default text part on the design box. You can see here where the arrow cursor is turned into a hand. This means you can grab and move that part. Now let's work on editing the text part. This operation may take a bit of practice. The text box does its best to interpret what you want to do. Do you want to drag the text part or do you want to edit it? To start editing the text box, click on the inside of the box on the text. A flashing black caret or insertion point will appear. From this point on, it acts like every other text editing operation on the Macintosh. Notice the tool in the Tool channel has switched to a text editing tool. Now let's change the text in the text part. We can tell we're already in edit mode by the flashing caret, so let's do a Command A to select the entire contents of the text part. Now let's change the selected text to something different. Let's type a happy birthday greeting. Next, let's change the font face and size. Select all the text you want to change and then select the new font from the drop-down menus. Let's resize that just a bit and then center it in the text box. Gray is a dull color for a birthday greeting. Let's change it to something a bit brighter. Just select all the text you want to change the color of and press the Color Wheel button. Now let's add a shadow to the text to make that greeting stand out. To do that, we need to make sure we're not in editing mode. You can tell if you're in editing mode because the card will be flashing or text is selected. Just click in a clear space on the design box or click on the part layer in the parts list to get out of edit mode. In the lower part of the tool channel are the controls to work with shadows. Now that we have the front of our card done, let's go do the inside. We do that by pressing the inside button on the top right of the window. This will change the design box to show the inside of the card. Let's work on the right side of the card. Just like before, we're going to drag one of our images to the design box. Keep in mind you can drag an image from almost anywhere. You can drag from a browser, you can drag from your Photos app, you can drag from almost any app that supports drag and drop. Here we drag another image from our folder and drop it on the design box and then center it. Now add some text, just like before. Change the text. And now we have a simple birthday card. Let's use a preview and see what that looks like. You can rotate the card all around, just as if you were holding the real card. Close the preview, and now let's do something card makers are really going to like. Change to the outside back of your card. You can now add your company name, your web address, email address, logos, or anything. Next, you can add a QR code. Just select QR code from the Add menu. When the QR code panel appears, type in anything you want, a web address, an email address, any info you can think of. Now all that's left to do is print the card. Load the paper and set the paper setting in Apple's Print Preview and press print.